I'm Gill, writer.
I'm James, illustrator and designer.
And thanks for checking out our Kickstarter for Legion of the Necromancer. We're asking you to be part of our adventure as we bring our tribute to the fighting fantasy books of Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone and many more to life.
Your pledge will help us print a beautifully illustrated folio edition book that you'll want to read and play again and again. Get the game book, special edition, prints, PDFs, and other limited edition treats as we launch our own series of epic choose your own adventure books. Join us.
If you love something, you also want to make it. And loving, and particularly in the last few years, revisiting and recollecting all of the old fighting fantasy books from when I was young, I was like, it's not enough to just sit and read one. I wanted to make one.
We geek out about a lot of things, don't we? Whether it's music or films or whatever. And we just hit this sweet spot of like fantasy kind of geekdom where we both realized we both love these old school game books, these choose your own adventure books. And then we just suddenly had this kind of realization, like, wait a minute, you're a writer, I'm an artist and designer, what else do we need? And I think at that point we realized, why don't we just do it?
And of course, that conversation we had before Christmas, it just seemed so screamingly obvious that you and I should totally do one.
Yeah.
And actually, again, the idea of being able to do that with you, it seemed like a no-brainer. And the fact that you said yes meant that I triply wanted to do it as well.
I kind of wanted us to kind of, get our chops, get our kind of heads in the game by doing something that was just so classical. It had a bit of everything that I loved about the original book. Problem solving, really good monsters, really good fighting, a great story, a really good villain, a greatest hits of why I loved those original books.
You could call it the 52nd of the fighting fantasy series in that it's familiar. There are familiar structures and frameworks. It's 400 paragraphs. It's got the feeling of those originals, but exactly to your point, we've introduced other elements of lore. It's in a different universe. There are monsters that you've never seen in any of the originals. So we've given it our own twist. And of course, it's all of your illustrations in your particular style.
It's obviously for the people like me and you who loved the books back in the day when they were kids. A lot of those people might have kids now. And, parents want to share something with their kids, whether it's sport or TV or music or the world of fantasy. So I feel there's like a whole new community who would really appreciate these books. I think people are going to feel, very familiar, very at home with these books, but also energized by the fact that A, we brought them back, and B, it's a fresh twist on what they love.
But then when you get the twists and all the new things that we've layered in, you get all these lovely surprises and new things to think about. I think we both agreed we wanted something that felt like the originals, and so it would be a sort of Tolkien-esque, universe, orcs and dwarves and wizards and various monsters. But in terms of the tone, I think this is what makes it ours, is that I'm a big lover of horror, and sci-fi, and where those sort of two things meet, and fantasy, of course.
Old illustrators, stuff like that, like Alan Lee, the guy who did all the brilliant illustrations for Lord of the Rings, and Tom Young, who did the kind of the Lord of the Rings animated movie poster and stuff like that. And so I think with anything creative, you just look to the things that give you energy. And for me, it was, Russ Nicholson and Bob Harvey, all those amazing illustrators who did those fantasy books. And they did it in a style which I really wanted to do, which was traditional pen and ink, quills, brushes, all that style. So no computers, no AI, nothing like that. This is the problem. You think everything I've done is amazing. I think everything you've done is amazing. Yeah, like this. This is the original pen. I quite like this one. Because you described this guy, and it's like this kind of weird insectoid zombie mammal with a gaping maw and huge, elongated limbs. The geography of this story is almost as important as the people in it, and it will always become something else, but it will always have those foundational elements to it. So this is our take. This is our remix album of the greats. And I think kickstarting a project like this is the only way people can really feel involved. Because we're kickstarting the whole project, there's going to be certain pledge levels, there's going to be certain gifts, certain rewards, getting your name in the book, all these kind of things. And so there's a real element of teamwork, not just between me and you, but me, you, and the rest of the community, which I think is why all these projects succeed. The group and community aspect are the one thing which is going to take this forward. And I think Kickstarter is the best way to do that.
That's a really nice answer. My answer makes me sound really materialistic. I'm like, because we want to be able to create cool stuff.
Yeah, that's
people.
true.
Like the cool editions, we want to be able to create cool editions of this, like A5. Seeing your illustrations as they started to come in, let's have those A5. Let's have a cool spellbook kind of vibe.
Presentation is very important, and obviously we're going to be slinging in some pretty good stretch goals in as well, I think. So all in all, there's going to be a really good basket of goodies.
So if you're watching this thinking not sure, wait and see, fine, pledge as little as £1 or follow the channel, this page. But I think you're gonna love being involved in our project, as James said. The very first thing, the main reason to support this campaign is because you will get a copy of Legion of the Necromancer, whether that's the paperback or the folio luxury edition that we're going to do a large edition of. And then we have prints and digital editions and so on. So you get the cool stuff. You get the amazing edition of this really fun, immersive game book that we've done. There's homage to the greats, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone of the Fighting Fantasy series. That's the first reason. The second reason is the reason that you said, which is that you get to be a part of this adventure that we're on as a pair of creators with a vision into the future. So you get to come on this journey with us. Reason number 3, if you support with even as little as £1, you get a thank you in the thanks page of the book.
But there is a section on the Kickstarter that if you just want to support the campaign and you don't want any of the products, you can obviously just donate to the campaign to allow us to bring these things to life. And it would put a lovely warm glow in our black hearts. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks for your interest. Follow us here or one of our many channels. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to receiving your pledge.